Dodgson! Dodgson! We've got Dodgson here! See, nobody cares.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't really put a lot of stock into things that celebrities say, but I do like to roast it, have a little bit of fun at their expense. That's exactly what we're going to do today. Now, Z-list comedian Patton Oswalt has often spent probably a little bit too much time on Twitter and had some horrendously bad takes. Now, I don't know who would pay to see Patton Oswalt, but he does kind of play like the sniveling loser really well. I actually thought he did pretty good in that one season of Justified. He played the loser really well in King of Queens, and he probably plays it really well like in IRL. But now he decided that, hey, he's going to virtue signal and cancel shows in Florida and Utah because they won't force their patrons to get the poke or share their medical information. Now, this is capitalism at work. Certainly, in Florida, I don't think the venue can actually I don't think the venue can force you to show it. As far as I know, I thought DeSantis had some sort of rule against that. I don't know about Utah, but so Twitter is worshiping him. In fact, this is actually a genius marketing move for a guy that probably sold fives of tickets to these shows anyway. He's been able to spin it into this awesome virtue signally political statement. Patton Oswalt canceled shows in Florida and Utah after venues failed to comply with his COOF requests. The comedian and actor said venues would not agree with his request that attendees show proof of poke or a negative COOF test. I always thought that this requirement was dumb anyway, given that, like, I don't know what the window is to have this test. Certainly you could have picked it up between the window in which you took the test and when you arrived there. Comedian actor Patton Oswalt cancels upcoming tour dates in Florida and Salt Lake City because the venues wouldn't force the attendees to violate their HIPAA rights. Oswalt told fans on his Instagram page and a video he made the request to protect people coming to his Patton Oswalt Live Who's Ready to Laugh tour. The good news is we're keeping everyone who comes to these shows safe and healthy because these numbers are going up. I doubt it. He said last Wednesday. Now the bad news, of course, is there are 5 venues on the tour that are not complying with this. Oswalt said the cancellations affect 4 December dates in Florida and 1 Salt Lake City that was scheduled in 2022. Now, certainly, just like Patton can cancel his tour date or his appearance, these venues have the right to do the same thing. In the video's caption, the King of Queens actor said he was looking forward to visiting Florida so he could take a picture beside the plaque of Travis McGee, a fictional character from author John D. MacDonald's Mysteries, who lived aboard a houseboat at Fort Lauderdale's Marina. He went on to say that Salt Lake City is eerily beautiful and has an otherworldly glow. The difficult decision was made due to the rising number of COOF cases and also because I have an ego. But my ego is not big enough to think that people should die to hear my stupid comedy. Yeah, I would agree with that. Oswalt said in the video about the cancellations, so hopefully in the future we can rebook those when sanity holds sway again. But this sucks. I really look forward to Florida and to Salt Lake City. I got to imagine that going to a Patton Oswalt show is probably worse than death. But of course, this is really about politicizing it. So, of course, now you got Ted Cruz in here. Ted Cruz now feuding with Patton Oswalt over COOF cancellations, and it's getting ugly for the Cancun superfan. I assume Uproxx, a left-leaning website. I'm not sure exactly. Ted Cruz never misses an opportunity to take a cheap shot, even though the tactic generally backfires on him. It does on Twitter. I will agree with that. As was the case when Cruz self-declared Princess Bride superfan came for Wesley actor Carrie Ells, who mopped the floor with the Texas Republican, and Ted, who spends way too much time on social media, I actually agree with that, decided to come for comedian Patton Oswalt, who announced that he pulled multiple tour dates in Florida and Utah from venues that refused to require proof of the poke and a negatory COOF test for its audience members. While retweeting the article from The Blaze, a conservative outlet, Ted decided to get snippy with a boilerplate comeback. Both of his fans were disappointed. I mean, I don't think that a lot of people pay to see Patton Oswalt do comedy. I mean, I could be wrong. Legitimately, I could be wrong. This presented a huge onslaught of reactions from Patton fans. It must be first noted that he best cruised with 4.7 million followers compared to 4.5. Okay. But first, here are Patton's weary replies, which included a shot at Ted's Cancun fiasco, which apparently isn't a cheap shot. Ted, you tweeted this at 1 a.m., put the phone down, and returned to liquid form for a few hours. The AP Bio star also couldn't resist firing a shot at Ted's notorious spicy video and, of course, the hearings. Okay, Ted, here we go. I would argue that Ted Cruz probably got the best of this because Patton Oswalt seems to be going off, getting triggered about it. I mean, Ted Cruz had one tweet, and Patton goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 replies. I would argue that Patton Oswalt is the one that looks bad in all of this. Of course, Patton Oswalt is doing this to appeal to a certain demographic. Hey, that's his right to do. It absolutely is. Just like when I talk about, venues standing up against this kind of stuff, certainly he can make that request, but imagine, a world where now, Hollywood actors are going to say, or comedians are going to come out and say, oh, well, nobody with a fever is allowed to come to my shows, or nobody with, I don't know, other health ailments. I just think that this is kind of a bizarre thing to get owned by or to push. It's weird. Obviously, everyone hates Ted Cruz, so anytime any celebrity with a blue check mark, goes up against Ted Cruz, they're gonna win. I'm sure that Patton probably sells maybe 100 tickets to these events. I would be shocked if they were in the thousands. But hey, I've been wrong before. It's entirely possible. Of course, Florida is among a handful of states that have prohibited the use of the poke passports or documentation of COOF poke. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis said in an executive order that such records are private information, which should not be shared by mandate, and that poke passports reduce individual freedom and will harm patient privacy. I've always felt this way about it. Any concert venue, like many do, like when they want to require that, I'm not going. In fact, look at this. I'd be willing to bet. So Summerfest, the world's largest music festival, started requesting it. And let's see how it's going for them. Summerfest sees thinner crowds and slower business on Labor Day weekend. I wonder why that is. I don't believe it's because people are scared. It should be wall-to-wall people. Summerfest officials declined to provide attendance numbers or comment on attendance at all until after the festival. However, Denier Johnson, a Milwaukee native hoping to run the Skyglider on the festival ground south end, said crowds were significantly thinner than they were in 2019. The side should be full, she said, pointing to the Skyglider. The return side was almost entirely empty. Around this time, it was heavy, she said. In 2019, it was a lot more people than it is now. I wonder why that is. I'll tell you why. Look at Wisconsin State Fair. Also wrapped up 3 weeks ago. It did see an attendance decline of 25% this year, falling from over 1 million in 2019. And the fair itself did not require masks and did not require other health stuff like the Summerfest is. So I would expect that Summerfest is going to take an even bigger hit. People are learning that they don't really need these things. They can live without going to rub shoulder to shoulder people. They don't need to be sharing their personal medical information with some 14-year-old kid. They don't need to be putting themselves at risk in general. And they don't need to give their money to people that value, that would extend these type of bizarre measures to, I don't know, own Drumpf. I'm not exactly sure what exactly they thought was going to happen here, but hey, if you want to willingly give out this information and you're willing to pay higher prices to offset the loss in attendance, more power to you. Literally. I'll just, be chilling at home, and that's just fine by me. Good luck, Patton, Oswalt. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.